Sorry for the re-upload, but I had some misunderstanding with the set bonuses and how your weapon upgrades contribute to them. I want to give a huge thank you to All Ailments Negated for informing me of this so I could get the video down and get a reworked video up ASAP. I know I probably could have just thrown up a pinned comment, but not everyone looks at the comments, so I don't want anyone to watch a video and walk away being misinformed. So to be clear, when you put a set bonus upgrade on your weapon, it only counts as a single point or piece of armor toward the actual set bonus. Thank you for your patience. Now let's get to the video. I haven't worked with every weapon as far as the Safi weapons go, but I would be hard pressed to pick another weapon that benefits more from the style of weapon grind than the hunting horn. Being able to pick your song list is absolutely game changing for the class. Now for myself, there was a few things I know I wanted to make. First, I was just going to make a horn that was jacked full of raw attack power. Second, I wanted to make a more damage-infused All Ailments Negated horn. Third, I wanted to make a more powerful sleep horn, since our options are pretty limited. Then I got to thinking about it. I'm just going to make a horn for each of my favorite song lists. Then I started to think about which elemental horns had the least favorable options to pick. Listen, the moral of the story is that this update and weapon system is absolutely fantastic from a usage standpoint and also when it comes to replayability. There's endless reasons to continue to grind out Safi, and we're only talking about one weapon class. But let's take a little bit of a closer look at that system. With Safi weapons, you have a bit of an RNG round roulette grind that never feels unfair or tiresome, at least for now in my experience. You're going to collect items that you feed to your weapon to awaken it. Each time you fill up that gauge, you get 3 options to add to your weapon, whether it be sharpness, affinity, attack power, defense, set bonuses, extra slots, or in the hunting horn's case, song melodies. When you first pick up the horns after defeating Safi, the horn will automatically have the song set with small and large recovery and earplugs by default, unless the horn's starting bonus is a melody. For me, I always focus on getting the song set that I want and then go from there. There's going to be times where you're not getting what you're looking for, but if that's the case, then just start taking the surrounding buffs you want on your horn. Speaking of song sets, Akut, and if I mispronounced your name, I truly apologize, provided a document with what the melodies are, and I'll also have that document linked in the description below. I know for myself, anytime I see Attack Melody 2, aka the Basil song set, I'm tempted to slot it in immediately. The best part of it? You're never locked into a specific song set. As long as we have the Safi event up, you can switch the song melody at any time by powering up that gauge and praying for some melodies to pop. It's obviously not guaranteed, but having the potential to switch melodies like that is awesome and can help you test out any crazy builds you may want to try out. Set bonuses come in to really shake things up as well. The amount that these set bonuses can be game changing is impossible to measure. Anything from true crit bonus for the Silver Rathlo set to the Shara Ishvalda mantle bonuses that are available to you. You have 5 of these slots to work with, so the possibilities of you and the next horn user having the same horn is pretty unlikely. The set bonus upgrades only count as a single point towards the set armor bonuses. This is still pretty beneficial, as you can use this to get 2 of the 3 set bonuses or replace a piece of armor you might not like in a specific set. Maybe something like the Teostra Waist. I absolutely love the deco slots it has available, but always feel like I'm wasting the 2 points of blast attack I don't end up using most of the time. Now I can replace it and get creative. The possibilities of using these set bonus upgrades are pretty vast, and I'm looking forward to experimenting with them. It's basically like having a toned down version of the Luna weapons, but being able to have them built toward your specific wants. Each horn will come with a random element or status built in that is set in stone. If you want to get a specific status or element, you're going to have to pray it drops when your reward weapons pop up at the end of the siege. Like I said in the last video, doing this review is a tough one, because my horn that I use could be worlds apart from the horn that you decide to build. So for this video, I'm going to review some of the things that will be standard no matter what kind of horn you decide to put together. Now, as I'm talking about stats, your horn could end up looking a little bit different when you pick it up, depending on the random upgrade it has. But I'll be talking about the bonus-free base stats of the horn. Looking at the Safi horn stats, we start off with a raw attack of 1134, which isn't shabby in the least. Moving on to the sharpness, we have a nice solid chunk of white, but if you're looking to get to purple, you'll either need to slot in a sharpness upgrade or some handicraft. 5% affinity at base, which is a nice starting point. Anytime you have above 0%, it's great. Next we come to the element or status portion, and this varies depending on the element or status on your horn. When it comes to any element or paralysis in sleep, you start out with 180 at base. If we're talking poison or blast, you get a nice little bump up to 300. Of course, these can be dramatically improved through upgrades. We end on a very good note with a sweet level 4 deco slot, which I almost always use to slot in a Sonorous Plus gem. Here's a set you can use to give yourself some nice survivability while also having wide range to keep randoms in your group alive. My current horn has a point of Teostra's technique to solidify the Master's Touch set bonus along with the 2 other pieces of Teostra armor. Toss in the 2 pieces of Gold Rathian to get that Divine Blessing secret, and you'll feel nice and tanky as well. The Teostra gloves also give you Heat Guard, which will help alleviate a lot of annoyance with the areas of fire that Safi will leave, similar to its previous form. Wrapping it up with, of course, the best in slot Garuga legs. If you don't want to throw on the wide range, slip in attack boost for that 5% affinity, maybe some agitator, whatever you like. Also, having horns injected with attack power helps me to not have to lag behind in damage while having that incredible amount of survivability for myself and support for others. Add in the fact that I have the Basil song set, and very rarely do I have anyone cart on me during this hunt. Breaking parts in the Safi hunts is very important, so I tried to sneak in some part breaker in there as well. I know when I was going for head breaking hunts with Shara, this was an absolute godsend. Next, we'll talk about the design of these horns. Now, depending on what element or status you have on the horn, you'll have slight variations of color, but the overall design will be the same. I can easily say that I love the design of these horns and think it may be tied as number 1 on my list of horns that I think are beautiful. Sonorous Iceville is clearly the other horn tied at number 1. It has a design that feels like it would be right at home in a tribal setting where shamanism runs rampant. I'm a fan of horn design that looks pieced together by the monster it represents. With the Safi horns, you have no doubts of where these pieces came from. The design itself is larger than life, which I also thoroughly enjoy. The best parts to me are the colors, that awesome looking eye dead center in the horn, and giant protruding horns coming from the top. It's very nitpicky on my end, but I would have loved if the eye would blink while you played your songs. I can't stress it enough, but in my opinion, they absolutely nailed the weapon design for the hunting horn. Now let's take a listen to the soundtrack. I'm sold. I'm 150% sold on the angelic voices and the deep bass drum. Every time I listen to the soundtrack playing, I feel like I myself am a final boss, and it's the background music the monsters are hearing as they fight me. I'm a minimalist kind of person, so this simple yet elegant soundtrack suits me extremely well. Another nitpick that I think would be absolutely awesome would be the option to choose a soundtrack that plays, or even being able to create a custom soundtrack. You pick the instruments and everything. It would only be right for the battle bards like us. But I do know that it would be a very hard thing to implement into Monster Hunter. Capcom said they wanted to make these weapons so powerful that we will be using them for some time to come. They did it, and they did it well. Technically, we'll only be using one weapon design for a while, but underneath that design we will have horns that we can completely call our own. And I absolutely meant that to be plural. We'll be able to craft an array of horns for the specific situation, horn type, or song list that we want. These things are absolute game changers, and weapons you should absolutely invest in as much time as you can. I haven't been able to build a straight up element horn just yet, but in terms of the raw attack route, these will easily get the job done once you get them upgraded to your liking. The sheer versatility us horn users will have is incredible. Have a status you'd like to use, but the weapon doesn't have an attack up L song? Your dreams can come true now. Don't like how low the attack is on the All Ailments horns? Say no more. This a la carte RNG grind system produces some pretty incredibly powerful weapons. You can go full raw or build up that element horn you've always wanted. The fight is not an easy thing to do with randoms, I know, but don't give up because you'll be missing out on some fantastic weapons. Nice starting raw, positive affinity, a level 4 deco slot, and insane customization come together to give us the one true horn in whatever sense we want that to be. That's going to be it for this one, guys. These horns have made up for a lot of goofy decisions Capcom has made in regards to song selection on certain horns in the design of some of those horns. Do not give up on this siege and event. I want to put together some hunts with you guys and just take a night out where we can do nothing but Safi and get these weapons in your hands. If you like the video, please do let me know with a thumbs up. Comment down below what your thoughts are on the Awakened weapon system and what your dream horn consists of. Subscribe if you haven't already for more Iceborne and hunting horn content. Dudes forever, have a good night, and happy hunting.